spirit who unselfishly is out there making a positive difference, not looking for any attention, but just really doing some amazing things. So if they look on their website at fcsw.net, it stands for Florida Commission on Status of Women.net, you'll find an application that you can use to submit somebody in your community who you feel is deserving of this recognition. And having served on the panel to select them, it is, one, very motivational. Two, it's very challenging because it's so hard to pick just one. We typically pick more than one. We typically pick somewhere around 12, I guess, because it's throughout the state. But I would encourage the listeners, if you do recommend someone, to please make sure you quantify the results and be clear about what the person does, because that's the only thing we have to go by is what's written on the application. And so some people are a lot better at filling those out than others. And then we find out later some of the other things they've done. And we wish we had that information ahead of time. But for a fair and equitable process, we can only look at what's on the application form. But thank you for bringing that up.
Well, and there's another one that is also very near and dear to my heart, which we have kind of like changed it a little bit, right? We have pivoted and adapted, but it's the essay contest, which now is also a video contest. Mm-hmm. So tell me about that, because that is also very fun.
Thank you. So we wanted to also engage the next generation of leaders, male and female. And so we have an essay contest that we host every year for youth, and they are given a topic and they are asked to write an essay, and it's always related to something that's happening with women issues. In 2020, it was wrapped around women's suffrage. This coming year, I believe it is around the 30th anniversary of the commission itself and, women in general. So they're asked to write it, and we, again, have a group of commissioners who read it and select the one that we think is best. And because we're in an area of time right now where everybody's into technology, and we are as well, we decided last year to add a video contest. And so this is another thing that's available to engage youth, and we include up to people in high school years. And so we ask them to create a short video. We give the topic, we give the length of time. That too is submitted, a panel looks at it, and then there is a reward for both the essay and the video contest, not just bragging rights, and the fact that we publicize it on our website, which means it's seen everywhere, but also we typically have either in-person or a virtual celebration to honor the individuals who are in fact selected as the winners of both the essay and the video contest.
And I think one of the other favorite things that I really, I guess one of the things that I like the most too is when you go to the Capitol building, they have the names of the women that acquired the Women's Hall of Fame nomination. But we have to, again, pivot because we were running out of wall. So we now have a device. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's one of the most exciting things that was accomplished in 2020, I think. And so the Hall of Fame, when you walk into the Capitol, we are very, very fortunate that over the years, we have had space right front and center when you walk into the building. And we've had a big wall and called the Florida Women's Hall of Fame wall. And featured on that wall have been photos of the various incredible women who have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. The good news is there have been so many that we ran out of wall space. And so being that technology is available to us, we purchased a kiosk system, and that system has been installed in the Capitol. And so when we are fortunate enough to go back into that Capitol, participants are going to be able to go right up to it. They'll be able to search by name. They'll be able to search by type of profession, by geographic location, and various other ways in which they're going to be able to search out and find women who have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. So we are so excited about that. And it's also going to give us an opportunity to include some additional information about women and other activities. So we hope that all of your great listeners, when they have a chance to go to Tallahassee, that they take the time to look at these incredible women that have really paved the ways for so many of us.
Yes, and I would love my listeners that if you go to Tallahassee, take a selfie with it and then hashtag it, I found Rosie, and make sure you say, I came here because Rosie introduced me to the commission. And if you need to find out more, their website is www.fcsw.net. So F for Florida, C for commission, S for status, and W for women. So fcsw.net. And Rita, the last question that I have for you, now we've been talking a lot about the commissioner, but this show is also a thriving and inspiring series. So do you have a tip or perhaps a book that you have read in your business that has helped you? You are part of your top leadership, is the name of your company. So what will be the one tool that you say this should be in the arsenal of a business owner that wants to achieve a thriving, successful, and profitable business?
There's so many books I love, Rosie. One of the ones I love, because I work with leaders a lot in developing bench strength, is The Leadership Challenge by Kuznets and Posner. And the reason why I like it so much is it's research-based, and it highlights the 5 characteristics of an admired leader. And they are inspired, a shared vision. And I think the critical word is shared, because so often in organizations, it's the top person that knows what his or her vision is, but it's not always cascade throughout the organization or embraced throughout the organization. So the first is inspired, a shared vision. The second one is model the way, and that's all about doing what you say you will do and making sure your words and your actions match. The third is challenging the process, because a good leader isn't happy with the status quo. The fourth is enabling others to act, and so that's all about taking risk and teaching people and letting them fail and learn from that. And then the last one is encourage the heart, and that's all about rewards and recognition. And so sometimes with really chaotic times and crazy schedules, we forget to reward and recognize. So those 5, I think, are so important. And sometimes we get off balance, and I often work with leaders and encourage them to read the book and to think about areas that they're good at, and then select only one area to work on and really focus on making a quantum leap and improvement in one area, and then move forward and pick another one, because most people try to pick 3 or 4 things at one time, and it's very hard to change behaviors. So if you just pick one area, work on it. Once you see the improvement in it, you get feedback on, then go to the next.
Well, thank you so much for those amazing words, Rita. Thank you so much for visiting my show today. And remember, my friends, if you want to communicate with Rita, look at her website, www.toptierleadership.com, www.toptierleadership.com. Thank you so much, Rita, for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Rosie. And before I leave, I just want to tell everybody to congratulate you on becoming an officer on the commission. I believe you're treasurer?
The secretary. The secretary.
That's right. I'm sorry, I didn't have my notes in front of me. So I just want all your listeners to know that you have been elected as secretary for the Florida Commission on the Status of Women, and duly in honor. And I look forward to continue to serving with you. Thank you so very much for having me on your show.
Thank you so much, Rita. And to my listeners, this is a quote from my book. It is important that we help each other rather than forcing our own way to the top. And I believe what Rita shared more than once is how we all have the pure intentions to accomplish something without expecting or having a motive or an agenda. You will be moving people's heart and inspire them to get to know you when your motives are pure. And those motives need to reflect what you want in your environment, which is changing them to become a better individual. The change starts with you, because the only person you can change is yourself. Thank you so much for listening to my show, Cafecito with Rosie on air. This is Rosie Paulson Enterprises. My brand logo is knowledge, connection, success. So remember, my friends, stay pure, stay positive, and stay inspired. This is Rosie Paulson. Ciao.
You just enjoyed another episode of Cafecito with Rosie on air. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and visit www.rosiepaulson.com to learn more about Rosie Paulson Enterprises. Stay pure, stay positive, stay inspired.
Seniors, does your doctor regularly reach out to check on you? Can you walk into your doctor's office and see them if you need to? Do you have your doctor's cell phone number, and can you call them anytime, day or night? At Dedicated Senior Medical Center, their only specialty is caring for seniors. Dedicated makes it easy to get the primary care you deserve. Doctors spend more time with patients than the doctors you may be used to. They offer telehealth visits, help you get your medications, and even make sure you get to your appointments. If your doctor isn't treating you like family, it's time to say yes to Dedicated Senior Medical Center. Call Dedicated Senior Medical Center today to schedule a visit and find out what you're missing. Call 813-359-1448. That's 813-359-1448. Appointments available now.